Hello and welcome to another episode of Keep Up. I'm your host, Dragon Paragon. With me, as always, is the illustrious Lord Zod.
Hello.
Zod, tell me a bit about this playmat we're seeing
So,
here.
previous things, we have a lot of playmats from Arcade Post. We love the Pokemon style ones. I love how his interpretation of the whole Dark lineup from the Ghastly Haunter to Gengar goes.
Indeed.
Funny enough, I don't think Gengar was actually on this mat until somebody gave it to me, and then he just appeared.
That's so spooky.
Right, because you got to trade him.
Wow.
Right?
No, that's fair.
Right.
That's fair.
Right?
It was
So,
actually two Haunters.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one technically still belongs to the other person.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been two Gengars.
Yep. So.
So we've got another graded order to show off today, and we're getting real spooky with it, as you can tell from our mat. So let's hope for some ghoulishly good grades, huh?
That sounds awesome.
Coming up is going to be a Charizard EX. This is going to be the rare out of Obsidian Flames, the alternate art, the hyper rare or whatever they're calling it. At a 7, it is a shame. You do want to see higher grades on those, but you do still get around $40 market value on these at a grade 7. Do not be surprised if you see it at a show for more. There is always that Charizard tax. In other news, however, we've got the same card at a higher grade. So there you go. Now you're doing a little bit better. These days, you start seeing premiums at 9. You do get a little bit of a bonus at 8.5. The difference between 7 and 8.5 is going to be about $10. You can expect to see this for about $50. If you really want it, it's probably not terrible paying $60 for it. I wouldn't pay more than that. Here we've got the alternate art Houndoom from Obsidian Flames. Illustration rare, sorry, that's what they're calling them now. I always get those wrong. Lovely to see that at a 10. Beautiful card. I love just seeing Houndour living in the garbage. I'm a big fan of raccoons and possums, so yeah, this kind of speaks to me on a primal level. That is worth around $50. Beautiful card too. And we've got the Artisan Secret Rare. Now with these, typically you don't see a premium until you hit 10 for trainers and whatnot. Unless, of course, it's a very popular trainer. This card is a windmill. So you're not going to see that level of popularity. In fact, even at a 9, you can expect this to go for about $15. So it's a shame because a 9 is a good grade. There's plenty of cards out there that are not a 9.
Yep.
Here we've got a Vespiquen EX. And that's going to be the Hyper Rare, formerly known as Full Art, but they added the terrestrialized versions and the Sword Shield block. Or the Scarlet Violet block, excuse me.
There you
go. So yeah. At a 9, you can actually expect this card to go for about $10. Not a very popular card, which is a shame because I actually rather love Vespiquen. I love bee Pokemon in general. Not that there's that many of them. But yeah, now's a good time to get them. For $10, you can't even get them graded for that.
Yep.
All right, we've got some Japanese One Piece. So the label here does say simplified Chinese. I do believe that is an error, and the reason I say that is because that is a no. That is a distinctly Japanese character. They don't have that in any of the Chinese scripts. So I'm fairly certain this is Japanese.
Also, the Japanese usually will have a little bit of the on top of the kanji, little mini kanji.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Right,
that's
I'm pretty sure none of the other.
I don't know.
Let's
I know Mandarin pretty well. I mean, I kind of recognize it. I can't read it super great. But the Cantonese characters, I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
But the No is a distinctly Japanese character, so that's why I believe this is Japanese. That and also the rest of the cards came from a Japanese pack, so it'd be really weird if there was a simplified Chinese one. Anyway, that aside, 10 is a beautiful grade. Coming back, you can expect to get a card like that for around $40. It is a bit of the Wild West when it comes to Japanese cards, especially with a game as new as One Piece. So take that with a grain of salt. We're just going to do our best with the English pricing as best we can and then accommodate for what we usually see. So yeah, here's a pristine 10 Roronoa Zoro. Amazing straw hat. If you haven't seen One Piece, this guy's the coolest guy ever. And pristine 10 is the coolest grade ever. So all in all, this is an amazing centerpiece for any collection. You can expect a card like this to go for $60, $70.
Sweet. Gotta love that 3-sword style.
I absolutely do.
Right.
36-pound Phoenix. Let's go. So this is Portcullis D Ace. Also known as Luffy's older brother, but I don't know if they're related by blood. In fact, I'm pretty sure they're not. But I haven't gotten to that part in the anime yet, so don't spoil it for me. This is at a Gem 10. This is, of course, Japanese as well. And you can expect this card to go for about $60.
Okay.
Actually, no, I apologize. That one's $40. This one's $60. That other one was the super rare. This is the Alt Art Parallel. So that's the difference between them. And as you can see, we got really snazzy art. The other one was quite a looker as well, but he's got his style and hat now. That's about a $20 difference.
Okay.
Hats, am I right?
Yeah. Well, good hat.
It's a good hat.
Yeah.
And here is the Kaido. This is the super rare, the secret rare, excuse me. And this is from the reprint pack from Premium Booster The Best, which had kind of a best hits album of the first 5 or 6 sets or so. He was originally from OPO5, I'm fairly certain. Yeah, right here, OPO5. Yeah, so he is Pristine 10. You can expect a card like this, which is a very popular card, to go for about 50.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Getting your pirate crew together.
Indeed. And that Kaido wasn't as playable, which, of course, the more popular characters and the more playable cards tend to hit the higher rates, which is typical of a card game. Trafalgar Law at a 9. My local One Piece crew will not shut up about this guy, and I haven't gotten to the episodes where he shows up in yet, so I just don't get it. His hat, definitely not as cool, but hey, who am I to judge? Trafalgar Law at a 9, you can expect him to go for about 30, still commanding a very respectable rate. Sanji, the cook for the Straw Hats, the OG. Looks like he's doing a Diablo Jambé right there. He's got his hot foot going. At a Gem Mint 10, which is a lovely grade, you can expect this card to go for about $40. Here is Stussy? I don't know how to pronounce that. I have not seen this character in the anime yet, but it's a very good looking card, very clean. I really appreciate that. A lot of these can be a little busy, but very nice clean lines here. It is the Alt-Art Parallel as well, so just gorgeous card quality on these, and coming out of 10 as well, as you love to see it.
And I will, I was gonna say, I will say, I love how the One Piece did like their foiling, so it's only accented foilings.
It's just gorgeous.
I will say, that's pretty.
I was trying not to go on tangents too hard because I will go on Bandai's foiling for a minute.
Fair enough.
But it's absolutely gorgeous. Like, not only do they have accented foiling, it's also textured, and it's textured differently on every super rare, secret rare, ultra rare in the set.
Okay.
It's awesome. So good. Every single one has their own foiling pattern.
Okay. Very nice.
Just awesome. So yeah, Stussy you can expect to go for about 50. And now we've got this bad mamma jamma. So this is Eustace Captain Kidd. This is the super rare, the SP version. Very rare version of the card. Very lovely. And at a pristine 10, you can expect no grade higher. There was not a lot of sales history for this, so we kind of had to wing it. Of course, we take into account all factors, and we've got a little bit of experience with this, so we like to think our guesses mean something, but ultimately, at the end of the day, still take it with a grain of salt. But we do believe a card like this would go for about $80 on market. Possibly more. There's not many out there. Here's a Borsalino, of course, still Japanese. And an 8.5, which is a little bit of a dip in quality. We've been seeing lots of 10s and a 9 or 2. 8.5, I think, is the lowest one we've seen so far out of the Japanese cards. Bandai does have really good print quality, so even with the English stuff, you end up seeing some higher grades. So it is kind of a shame to see him down at a 8.5, but he still commands about $20. And next, we've got the man, the myth, the legend, the linchpin of CP9, Rob Lucci, in one of the most gorgeous cards I've seen to date. That Alphonse Mucha-esque tiling you see on the background with the the floral print and the alternated colored tiles is just gorgeous. With the lovely art on top, it is just such a striking card. This is really something to see. And coming at a 10 just makes it all the more impressive. So we're looking at around $100 market value for that card. And here's another one. I'm fairly certain, sent in by the same person. You know who you are. Thank you very much for choosing us. Next, we've got a very eclectic mix, actually. We went from, Pokemon to One Piece, and now we're in Shadowverse Evolve.
Okay.
So this is Galmanu, Omen of Disdain. This is the Evolve version. This is the Ultimate Evolve version. Evolved means it's the card you put on the lower card, just like in Pokemon.
Okay.
So it is a different mechanical card. The Ultimate is an art variant. A very rare art variant. So yeah, at a pristine 10, that's gonna get quite the premium, and it was already a pricey card to begin with. We didn't have a lot of data on these, so we just kind of did our best with what we could find on eBay. You could probably expect this to fetch around 120.
Nice.
But yeah, really cool card. And we've got some more Shadowverse coming in. This is Dark Dragoon Forte. Again, the Evolved. Again, the Ultimate. Not quite as high a grade, but a 9 is still very commanding. And this is also a very rare card. Much easier to find in Japanese than it is in English. We believe a card like this could fetch 140 or more at market. At this grade. There's very few of them out there. This is a card for Flesh and Blood, a game I am utterly unfamiliar with. I actually own a couple of decks, but unfortunately have never gotten somebody to play with me, so I actually don't know the rules. This card is a first edition cold foil. I don't know how hard it is to get, but I imagine pretty difficult. We were not able to get a price estimate on these, and while I normally do my best to try to ascertain where it would fall, I don't feel confident enough with my personal experience with Flesh and Blood to actually do that. So I apologize. I can say it's a very lovely card. It's very cool to see it. 8.5 is a small premium. 9's a bit better, though. 9 you start seeing some premiums in. So, of course, we had 2 of them come in. And it's, again, first edition cold foil. Which, with a lot of these games, which I mean games that were successful on Kickstarter and then later on grew to have a life of their own, the cold foils out of the first edition sets tend to be pretty rare. Usually because that first edition was like short printed either for Kickstarter fulfillment or shortly after. So there's typically not a lot of those around. I don't know how it is with Flesh and Blood, but I have to imagine it's similar. I think this is a Flesh and Blood card. It is. This is a Flesh and Blood card. Yep, okay, for sure. This is 7.5. It's got nice gold scroll work on it. I love me a good landscape. I love me a good fantasy landscape especially, and that's a really cool tree. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's worth, but I think it's cool. Coming in at 7.5, you wish it'd be a little bit higher, but with English printing, it is always kind of a crapshoot. Regardless, I can still say it's a lovely card. Okay. So there we have a little bit of Flesh and Blood. Now we're going to be going back into more familiar territory. This is a Magic card. Why don't you go ahead and tell them what we're looking at, Zod?
So we got the Wandering Emperor. This is that special Kamigawa showcase foil etched one. So like super rare. One per case, like collector booster case, I think around there. I think you got a foil etched in like 6 collector booster boxes, give or take. Sought after one. It's very I mean, it was played. It's still played.
Yeah.
It was played in Standard while it was, still played in Pioneer.
Yeah.
The card itself, just the foil. I mean, it's a Planeswalker that does stuff that's amazing, and it was playable.
Yeah. No, it's a sought-after card. And plus, the Wandering Emperor's got really cool lore on top of it. Neon Dynasties was an amazing set, and a lot of people really like it. The ungraded version is 125. Now, with Magic cards, typically you're looking for 10 or bust. You do see some small premium on the 9s, so I conservatively put this one at 130. I think, however, if you were to see it at a table in MagicCon or something, it'd probably be going for more than that. Speaking of really cool Magic cards.
Okay, this is the Demonic Tutor alternate art, or Japanese art foil from Strixhaven. So these are the Strixhaven archives.
Yeah.
So you had a chance to get these in the collector booster box. You always got one. I believe the archives were available in not the play boosters, but the set boosters at the time. But it'd be very rare. You had a higher chance of getting the etched one as opposed to this one. So this one's like the rarest of the rare versions.
Really?
Of them. So the etched ones you were guaranteed packs if you bought some. Whereas the and they had etching was like very like minor, just along the text box and stuff.
Gotcha.
So people wanted to go for this. What is it? Demonic Tutor? It's very. The Chase Demonic Tutors have always been worth a decent amount of money.
Well, this one's no different. We're talking, what, 240,
250
ungraded?
Yep.
So at the 10, again, I went very conservative with the value for the 9 at 260. There's not many of them out there, and if you were to see it at a show, you'd probably end up seeing it for closer to 300 if I had to guess. But again, with the Magic cards, it's kind of 10 or bust. Like, you see a small premium at 9, but you really want to try to get that 10. Magic collectors are they're extremely discerning people. They want the best of the best. Okay. Next, we're going to go back to Pokemon. Here we have the illustration rare, or the art rare, as they call it in the Japanese versions, of the Houndoom from Night Wanderer.
So I believe we pulled that on stream.
We did. And this went into Obsidian Flames, of course. And I believe this actually went to our resident Houndour expert, which is Yukaiga, Blue Fox Unboxing. And I believe she sent this in to get graded. So she's going to be real happy seeing this one. She's had really good luck with her Houndooms, and it's nice to see she's going to be eating well.
Yep.
And you can expect that card to go for around $40. Next, we've got a Gouging Fire EX, and that is a pristine 10, which I love seeing. It's just so good. Of course, it is the hyper rare. It's got that lovely stylized background of the single color with the full art Pokemon on it. At a pristine 10, you can expect this to fetch around $50 on market. We have got a Heliolisk art rare, illustration rare. This is the English one, so they use a different terminology. From Twilight Masquerade, coming in at 8.5, which is nice. It's a respectable grade. This card, however, not a lot of people would count Heliolisk among their favorites, and I don't believe it was particularly playable. So this card you could expect, even at this grade, to be around $10.
Gotcha.
Which is a shame to see, but on the plus side, it means you can get one for your collection super cheap. Here we've got Flying Pikachu VMAX, coming at a 5, which is a shame.
Yeah, it looks like
we've got a little bit of whitening, which you want to be careful when you send in cards, because even if you can see it with the naked eye, it's going to be a real big issue for the grade.
Yep.
Because they inspect it under magnification for the actual process. So, but still,
it's a Flying Pikachu.
Yeah, I love this card. I love the art on it. For starters, this one and the Surfing Pikachu VMAX were just the goofiest, silliest things, and I have them for my collection personally. So I really enjoy them. You're not looking at a lot of value, even at 5, especially. This is a bulk slap. It's $5-10. Now we're going to go into some Lorcana, and this is one I'm really excited about.
Let's see if we can show you.
Yeah. Zod, tell them what that bad boy is.
We got a good crimp across the top, and it's a full crimp. There we go.
Yeah, look at that.
So it's on both sides, so a little bit bigger than the border of the card, which is awesome. So a good sealing process.
Yep.
And I'm like, the fact you got a crimp on an enchanted foil card, which are so rare to begin with, is pretty good.
It's phenomenal.
I'm trying to...
I can't imagine there are very many of these at all, really. Yeah. And I mean, it's kind of a shame to see it at an 8.5, but at the same time, the crimping error does take an issue on the quality of the card.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I've ever seen a crimped card get higher than that. Like 8.5 is about what you can expect, really. Okay. So because of the unique quality of that card, I mean the ungraded Robin Hood's like $200. I would expect that to go for like 300.
300?
That is my estimate. And it's kind of always a guess on error cards, but that is an extremely pronounced error and a really cool card. So yeah, I think anybody would be lucky to have that in their collection.
So we get some more. So we got a few different enchanted ones. So this one does not have the crimp, but it's still pretty beautiful.
Indeed, yeah. We don't talk about Bruno, which is the enchanted.
What do we talk about?
Oh, you know.
Oh, that guy.
But it was our wedding day. Yeah, so we don't talk about Bruno at a 9. You can expect to go for around $90 on market.
Okay.
And the enchanted train is going to keep rolling.
Diablo.
Indeed, that is the Diablo Devoted Herald enchanted rare from Ursula's Return. At a 10, which is the first Lorcana 10 we've seen so far, and I think ever in the history of the channel. So that's super, super cool. That card has a very astounding $285 price tag.
Nice.
Yeah, at the 10.
Nice.
Lovely card, lovely grade, and the price reflects that. So this is the Kita. Again, an enchanted rare. And this card is another one that is not only playable, but just gorgeous. It's very sought after. At a 9, you can expect a price tag of $150.
Okay.
And I believe that one's from Into the Inklands. Is that right? It is. It is from Into the Inklands, which is a set before Ursula's Return.
Okay.
Next, we're going to go back to Pokemon to cap us off. Got a couple of submissions of my own coming in.
So we know they're Ninetales.
Indeed.
Or Vulpixes, or any combination.
That's correct. I am going for that Master set, so that's what you're going to be seeing. Very chuffed about this guy. This is the full art from Rebel Clash coming out at 10. Way to go, buddy. Proud of you. You can expect a card like this to go for $50 on market. This was another recent addition to my collection. I had a lot of the older Ninetales and the reprints, but I didn't have the Evolutions one, so I figured, hey, why not square that one away? One came into the shop, and they're relatively cheap, so I just bought it. Came back at an 8.5, which my hallmark's 7. If I get over a 7, I'm happy. So yeah, I'm very happy with this.
I love the foiling pattern on it. It's just the old school foil with just a little bit on the back. Oh, nice.
No, it's super good. It's, of course, the Ken Sugimori art. Yeah. You can expect a card like that to go for around $15 at market. At a show, you might see it as high as $25. I wouldn't pay more than $20 for it. But yeah, I'm very chuffed to see it. Moving on to the Vulpixes, we've got the Vulpix Secret Rare, which this is the Alolan Vulpix V-Star. It's the only rainbow Vulpix to have been printed in the entire area. Hold up. Is that an error?
Yeah, it's insufficient ink. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't.
Yeah, so if you look...
Insufficient ink? What?
Yeah, so if you look on... So it's not on the back, right? So you go to the back. So look at the reflection. I'm going to try to show it to you.
I missed that.
Look at the layers.
I'm going to be honest. I don't see it.
Like, I thought it was, like, on the bottom area. Like, over here, right? Does it normally...
No, I don't.
Okay, well...
I don't get it. I mean, I'd have to put it next to a normal one, I guess.
Yeah,
but
you go check them out.
I mean, maybe. CGC are the authorities. I'm going to trust them on this one. Yeah. I'm definitely going to put that side by side to another one to see what's going on. That's cool.
So I think it's, like, down here, because I want to say it's supposed to be that shimmer rainbow across.
Oh, it is.
It is. And you see how, like, down here you're missing some of the... Oh. Like, it's not the full rainbow. It's like...
Okay.
That's what I think it is.
That's cool.
So I didn't know it's like... So you didn't realize that when you sent it in?
No, I did not realize that.
That's a serendipitous amazement.
I, in fact, didn't realize when I was pricing it that it says error very clearly right there.
Yeah, I was like, was it going to let me know what it is? Or I might have to guess?
Yeah, this buddy just got a special spot on the wall.
Yeah.
So a normal Vulpix V-Star of a 9 is going to be around $20 on market. The error is probably going to add a bit of a premium. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. I think it'd probably go for $30, $35.
Yeah.
But it's worth a lot more than that to me.
Yep.
So, sick. I'm
Good
very
job.
happy about that. Sick. Yeah, also this one. Yeah. This one is our last card for the day. This is the shiny Alolan Vulpix coming in at a Gem 10. Very cute art. I love the shinies. I think everybody does, frankly. I think they're just really cool.
Yeah.
And a card like that you can get for $25.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, I'm super thrilled about it. I of course ended up getting that one piecemeal, which was like $2. And then of course another $15 to get it graded. So hey, save myself $8.
Yep.
Yeah, and you get to be part of the process. And it's always really fun sending a card and like seeing it come back.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, that's our haul for the day. Thank you very much. This is of course our it's late September. This would have been our July.
Okay.
June or July. I'd have to double check. I should have checked that before.
Yeah, it's when we opened up Night Wonder.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that would have been that order. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope everybody has a nice and safe, spooky Halloween season. Please make sure to check all of your candy for methamphetamines, because A, you just never know what people are putting in there, and B, you don't want your kids to have that. That's for daddy.